Hello there, friends, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new around these parts, hello. Thank you so much for clicking. In today's video, we are finally at my Cowboy Carter review. This is Cowboy Carter week, which means I'm going to be talking about things that I absolutely love. I don't know if I'll get through all of my thoughts in this video because there's so much to dissect with this album, this 27-track album. So we might have to break it up into two, but I'll do my best to get in as much as I can in this plan with me. But let's get into what I'm using. So this is the March Mystery from Caress Press from last year, 2023. And I think it was called like Western Vibes or something like that. And of course, the vibes completely match the Cowboy Carter vibes. I just thought it was so perfect. As soon as Beyonce mentioned dropping, well, not mentioned, as soon as she announced on the Super Bowl she was dropping an album. Well, she announced her singles technically on the Super Bowl, but soon thereafter she announced her album was dropping on March 29th. And as soon as I saw that, I was doing in search ofs for this kit. It took me a while, but Chelsea came through. Shout out to Chelsea, who's a real one. She sent this over to me for free $99, and I really can't thank her enough for it because it was just absolutely perfect. And I remember when this kit came out, the Overstock came out in the shop, and I actually liked it. These are so not my vibes, like the Western vibes. I've grown up in the Northeast. Like, what is the West? I have no idea. But I loved it. Like, I loved the look of it. And I'm usually not huge on like all the browns that are in the kit, but it really works all together. And the artwork is just beautiful as per usual with Sadie Piper Designs. So yeah, so shout out to Chelsea. I'm so appreciative. And then for the foil, I used a brown marble foil bundle. This is the Renaissance Act 2 foil bundle from Plan With Me Stickers. And if you purchase anything from Erica's shop, you can use my code Anna15 to save and get my stinking cute freebie. And shout out to Erica as well, and Marche of Honeybee Plans for creating, kind of together creating more Beyonce products in the planner community because there's not enough, as we all know. But yeah, I think that's everything. And I know I have a lot to go over, so let's get into it. So probably the first, it's so hard to know where to start. I'm going to get into each track, but I just want to say, like, you'll notice when you listen to this, this is definitely the most cohesive body of work that she has created, for sure. Hands down the most cohesive, because she revisits a lot of themes again and again to kind of build on the story. It's within the lyrics that she chooses. It's even within like the musicality. And when I say that, it's like she brought in a lot of like kind of unique sounds. Like you'll hear horses galloping. You'll hear like throughout the throughout the album, it almost sounds like wind chimes at some point. Someone said it might be spoons. Might be spoons. But there's these like really specific sounds that she decided to incorporate, and there's such little details, but they add so much to the idea of the concept of this album, and it makes it just that much more cohesive. When you listen to it, you'll hear kind of what I'm talking about, but kind of pay attention for things like that. It's really kind of sprinkled throughout the album in a very just beautiful way, where it's not too much, where it overpowers the music, but it's just like a nice detail, and it's such a small detail, but like my girl just kills it. Let's get into the tracks. There's 27 of them, so I should start talking. It's likely that I will need 2 videos to get through this, but we'll start with number 1, American Requiem. Ooh, y'all, this is top 5 for me. This song is such a masterpiece within a masterpiece. Like, this song is so amazing. Like, she does a great job in this song of balancing the story that she's telling, both on a macro and a micro level. I think at the micro level, which is the closest to her, is, you know, the whole situation that happened at the CMAs. If you don't know what I'm talking about, she sang with the Dixie Chicks or the Chicks or whatever at the CMAs years ago. I don't even remember what year. And people were not thrilled about it. Some people walked out of the performance. Things were yelled. Like, it was evident that she was not welcome there. She alluded to this. She never said what the incident was, but she did allude to an incident where she didn't feel welcomed. And all of us are kind of assuming that's what she's referring to. It would make the most sense. Although I'm sure as a Black woman, she hasn't felt welcomed in a lot of spaces. Let's just keep it a buck. So at the micro level, it's definitely a shout or a nod to that. You know, there's a lot of talking going on while I sing my song is one of the lyrics in American Requiem. But there's also a macro perspective that's even bigger than her. That's a conversation about America in general. And kind of getting up and facing the wind. You know, she starts by saying, "Can you stand me?" And then she goes into, "Can we stand?" In the song. And it's such a call to action to you in a way. And it really sets the tone for the album itself. And, you know, American Requiem is basically the death of America as we know it, right? Like, these big ideas are buried here. I'm going to say random lyrics, y'all. And I'm going to try my best not to sing them. I'm going to try my darndest not to sing them and just say them for the sake of your ears. But there's just so many great nods to things that could apply both to what she lived, but also like what is actually happening in America in general. And it's such a good, it just feels like a call to action. It also feels very cinematic as an opener as well. Like, the visuals are going to eat whenever they come. They're going to eat, y'all. And I'm going to have to make sure I book an appointment at my hair salon for the next day after these visuals come out, because my edges are going to be effed up. They're going to be just a frazzle-dazzled mess if I have any left. Let's keep it a buck. But the musicality, the production, the vocals, the runs, the wails, it even gives a little bit of a rock feel, which we also need to talk about what I think for Act 3, because I may have changed my thoughts about what I think for Act 3, but that probably will be something I talk about next Plan With Me. So y'all have to wait for that one, but it's coming. But yes, it's amazing. It's amazing. And it's top 5 on this album, easily top 5. I don't know if it's one, like, I haven't ranked my top 5, like, within to tell you like which one's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just kind of the ones I like the most, but I haven't ranked them kind of within. But that one's definitely top 5. Definitely top 5. Beyonce openers are always bangers. She just kills me with the openers. Pray You Catch Me opener for Lemonade. Amazing. Even the freaking Lion King, the Gift album. Like, the bigger openers. So good. Like, what is wrong with her? Everything. Okay. So American Requiem, 11 out of 10. Top 5. Amazing. And I promise I won't sound like this for all songs. You're like, are you just going to review all these songs like this? I'm not, I promise. Okay. Next song is Blackbird, which the original is sung and written by the Beatles, which I did not know. I'm going to keep it a buck. I did not know. But I did see somewhere on the interwebs that Paul McCartney wrote it for Black women in, I want to say, the 1960s. I know that it was for Black women within the civil rights movement. I think it had to do with desegregation in schools. Specifically, the women he was writing it for. And he wrote it, you know, in the hopes that it would give them hope for the struggle. And the most beautiful thing about this song is that it was written back then to give Black women hope, and it's now being sung by multiple Black women. Like, come on, y'all. Come on. If that doesn't get you in your feelings, I don't know what you're made out of. Like, that is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. It's not just Beyonce on the song. She did bring in 4 Black female country artists on the song as well that are relatively, I would say, unknown. I think Tanner Adele is probably the most well known. It's Tanner Adele, Raina, is it Roberts? Maybe Tiara Kennedy, Brittany Spencer. Why can't I remember Raina's last name? I'll put it in the caption because I don't want to stop this voiceover, but I'll put it in the caption if it's not Roberts. But I'm thinking Roberts for some reason. But she's also, you know, aside from it already being beautiful because a Black woman is singing this song, I think it's even more beautiful that she decided to bring in, you know, these up and coming Black female country artists that don't get recognition in the genre. And I know that it's helped them, you know, helped their platforms, helped their visibility, their exposure. It's still a struggle though to get, from what I've heard and seen. Again, country is not my, certainly not my realm of expertise, so I don't pretend to know it all, but from what I've heard, it's still hard to get those songs played on the radio. Like, even I think some of Beyonce's songs are not, like, maybe Texas Hold'em has been played. I don't know if other songs have been played off this album though. So it's an uphill battle. But I like that she is using her influence to push that conversation forward. So that song is just beautiful because of that. It's a very short song. I do agree with folks that said that they wished the other girls would have sang more in it. I do too, so they could showcase them a little bit more. But I don't know. I have a feeling that this came together very quickly because I remember, so Beyonce announced that she was going to drop an album pretty soon after the Super Bowl. And I'm pretty sure that Tanner, I've heard, hearsay, this is not confirmation, but I think Tanner posted on Twitter, like, it'd be so cool if Beyonce, like, put me on Cowboy Carter, or, like, I'm manifesting, or I'm hoping, or I'm wishing, something like that, that she wanted to be on the album. And people, like, were dragging her on Twitter, and they were like, the album's done, like, it's too late, yada, yada. And here she is sitting on the album. So, it's great. It's amazing. I love it. So just because of that, I think the meaning behind Blackbird makes that song so much more powerful to me, especially in retrospect. So that is Blackbird. Their voices sound beautiful. I actually think that Tanner sounds the best on that song. I know, y'all. Who am I? But I do. I think Tanner's voice probably, again, I didn't hear enough of the other girls, but I think I liked her voice on that song more than I actually liked Beyonce's voice on that song. Obviously, B still sounds amazing because she's B. But I'm just saying there's something about Tanner's voice that really lended itself to that song for me, in my opinion. So anyways, let's move on because we had 27 tracks. The next song is 16 Carriages. Yes, next song is 16 Carriages. It's one of the singles that dropped. It's my preferred of the 2 singles that dropped before the album dropped. I love the storytelling in it. I love the vulnerability. Like, what is wrong with me? Y'all know what I mean. I love that she's vulnerable in this song. I promise I'm here. I love that, and the storytelling. It's really kind of a short story about her rise to fame. Like, that's how I see it. And I love the kind of chord progression in it, and those, like, really, like, almost orchestral, like, chords, that those booms that you feel, especially when the chorus starts. And it's right in the beginning, and it just gets stronger and stronger. So I really love that. I love the composition of that song the most. So 16 Carriages is a banger. Of the 2 singles, I mean, there's 3 singles now because I think she's released 2 Most Wanted as a single. But still, of the 3 singles, 16 Carriages is still my favorite. So there is that. Which that one was the first one that had, like, the most storytelling country vibe to me. So that was cool. So definitely an amazing, amazing song. And it's funny, it kind of pales in comparison to the rest of the album, which I swear she does this all the time. She releases her singles, and one, they never sound like the rest of the album. I would say 16 Carriages sounds a little bit more like the rest of the album. Texas Hold'em really doesn't sound like most of the album, in my opinion. And she does this all the time. She has these singles that don't really sound like the rest of the album. And then you listen to the album and you're like, oh, okay. So, you know, just her being herself as normal. The next song is Protector, which is, I think, the most beautiful song on the album as far as lyrical content. It is just a gorgeous song. And this is, you know, like I said, as you start to listen, you hear like the recurring themes, and there's so many kind of metaphors and analogies to nature, you know, to roots, specifically to roots in this song, which is really about, you know, motherhood. At least that's how I'm interpreting it. Rumi Carter, of course, is on it, which is her daughter, one of her twins. And she's so cute. She's in the beginning and the end. She's adorbs. But this song is just beautiful. I can listen to this song. I never skip this song. I never skip this song. This song is such a beautifully written song. I think if you're a mother, I'm not a mother, and every time I listen to it, I'm emotional. Every time I listen to it. And I've listened to this song quite a bit since the album dropped. And every time I'm emotional. So I think if you're a mother, you're really going to love this song. It's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeously written. The second verse is my favorite. Oh, it's so good. Of course, the vocals are vocaling. Per usual, the vocals, the vocals are vocaling in this song. For sure. Yeah, that's definitely, I don't know if I would call it top 5. It might be top 5. Next is My Rose, which many people have speculated is for Sir, which is her other twin. Well, twin children, like not Beyonce's twin. Y'all know what I mean. And it's so cute. It's a short song. I think it's less than a minute. And the message of it really is to love your flaws. You know, all roses, it's called My Rose. All roses have thorns. Learn to love them. Which of course is a great message for anyone. I think the most impressive part of this, I don't know if I can call it an interlude. This like mini song. Can I call it a mini song? Is the kind of stacked harmonies of it. A lot of people have said it reminds them of like Destiny's Child stacked harmonies, and it really does. Like when I first heard it, I was like, oh my God, is this DC? They're not on the feature. They're not listed as a feature, but is it them? Because it's so reminiscent of Writings on the Wall. Those harmonies, those stacked, I mean, there are so many stacks of harmonies in My Rose. I don't even know how many there are. It sounds like it's more than one person. It's all freaking Beyonce. I cannot with her. Okay, officially, I can't. I try to can, as my cousin would say, and I simply cannot. Then we move right into Smoke Hour with Willie Nelson. And there's 2 smoke hours on this album. And I think that they're used as a way to let you know that there's going to be a shift in tempo, a shift in vibes, like that there's going to be a shift. And this interlude starts with the changing of a radio station, which I think is amazing. Like the concept and how it helps sequence the album. She knows what she's doing, per usual. So I really liked the addition of these interludes. I also like that it's a nod from one of the biggest country artists. And what I love about both the smoke hours, my favorite thing about both of the smoke hours is that there's a little jab to the haters in both of them. There's just a little jab to the haters in both of them, and it makes me so happy. It makes my petty soul just so happy. So in this first smoke hour, he says something along the lines of, let your mind go to that good place that it likes to go to. And if you don't want to go find yourself a jukebox. Like, of course, it sounds harmless, but really, if you look underneath what he's saying, he's like, if you don't like it, then get. Like, go on. Go find a damn jukebox. I love it. And the fact that it's being said by someone who's so respected in the country genre, iconic. iconic. Anyways, like I said, those smoke hours I feel like mark a shift in tone and tempo, and it definitely does, because the first few songs are more of a slower tempo, and then we get into more mid-tempo to up-tempo. So that leads you right into Texas Hold'em. Y'all know Texas Hold'em. It's everywhere, every dang where, on the TikToks, on everything. This is not my favorite song of the singles. I mentioned before 16 Carriages is. At first it was hard for me to get into this because this is very country to me, someone who does not listen to country. But it's fun. It's a fun, like, hoedown kind of song. It's a fun song. It's not my favorite. It's definitely not my favorite, and now that I've heard the album, it's low. It's low in regards to my favorite songs. I usually skip it, to be honest. But it's still fun, and it's a good excuse to get up and dance and have a good time, which I really like. So that's all I got on Texas Hold'em. It's cute. Next up is Bodyguard, and this starts a really interesting sequence in the album for me, and we'll get into that as we go through the tracks. But Bodyguard is so fun, you guys. I really enjoy Bodyguard. It's like a put the windows down in the summer, let the breeze hit your hair. Like, it's a sing with the windows down and your friends in the car. It's so fun. It's so, like, it's a groove almost. It feels like a groove to me. So I really love Bodyguard. And it's a very interesting, it's kind of playful to me in the sense that she's saying she'll be his bodyguard versus a lot of the times it's a male dominated kind of role, being a bodyguard, right? And she's kind of turning the tables, which is not the first time she does that, but she's kind of turning the tables and saying, I'll be your bodyguard, which interestingly enough comes pretty soon after Protector. So again, there's like certain themes that she revisits and kind of approaches in different ways. So Bodyguard is a bop. The end of the guitar riff, the end with the guitar riffs, bro, I needed more of that throughout the whole song. I'm not going to hold you. Like, when I first listened to it, I was like, okay, this is kind of cute. When it got to the end, I was like, okay, where was this the whole time? I needed this here all the time. It is so good. The end, immaculate. But a fun song, definitely. Next up, we go right into Dolly P, which of course features the legendary Dolly Parton, because she is going to bring us into Jolene, which is next. This is another interlude where I think it's iconic that she got huge country artist figures that are well respected in the genre, to kind of give their nod to what she's doing when so many people are clearly not doing that. So I really love that. And I also like that. I think that interlude served as like, here's why it kind of makes sense for me to do this cover. Because of course, anytime someone covers a very popular song, there's polarizing opinions about it. There's like, ew, no, why is she even bothering? And then there's, people that are more open to it. And then, you love it or hate it. But, it can definitely create polarizing opinions when it's something that's so loved and so popular. So I loved it. I love that there was a nod back to Becky with the good hair from Lemonade. For those of you who don't know, I don't know if I said this already because I've done this voiceover a couple of times, but Cowboy Carter was supposed to come out before Renaissance. So this would have been an immediate follow-up to Lemonade. So I think any callbacks to Lemonade makes sense in regards to sequencing. So I love that. So it's a cute little interlude, and it brings you right into Jolene. Oh, Jolene. Now, she done told you in Bodyguard, Jolene, that she didn't like the way you were looking at her man and someone should hold her back. She said it in Bodyguard. You didn't listen. So she gave you a whole song telling you, I'm warning you, don't come for my man. She could not be more clear. She couldn't be more clear. She was warning you not to come for her man. Obviously, I love this version of Jolene. Are we surprised? I love the take that she, like the flip that she does another time, that she's kind of flipped the content or the lyrical content, instead of being like, I'm begging you, please don't take my man because I know you can. She's like, try me, ho. Try me. And I absolutely live for that vibe. I love all of this. This was a banger of a cover. And I think that choir at the end sealed the deal for me. Like, I was already like, I was bopping to the song. I was like, okay, I'm into it. Love the lyrics, switch up. And then she added that choir in the end. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It was so good. I feel like that choir should have been there in the original. Honestly, that choir is so good. I don't know if it would have fit as good in the original as it does in this version, but oh my God, that choir was everything at the end. And then we get into Daughter, which I remember when she released the track list and I saw Daughter, I was like, oh, this is going to be about her daughters. Like, it's going to be some type of motherhood song. B said, nope. Nope. This Daughter is another top 5 track, another masterpiece within a masterpiece. Oh, I love how sinister this song is. Y'all, I don't know who I am. And what this says about me, but I love how sinister this song is. I'm obsessed. This kind of villain, anti-hero kind of song, but also, like, it's called Daughter because it's from the perspective of her being her father's daughter. And even with, you know, maybe some of the characteristics that he holds that are considered to be negative, like, you don't pick and choose what you get from your parents, right? It's hereditary. You get the good and sometimes you get the bad. And I just love this perspective. I love how sinister this is. I love the, like, guitar. Oh my God. The lyrics, oh my God. And then she had the audacity, this woman had the audacity to go up there and sing opera. I'm sorry, what? I believe it's called an Italian aria that she sings. Bro. And slays it to pieces. Like, of course, let's just keep it a buck. The vocals are vocaling on this album, but like, and the fact that she chose to do this opera, specifically this Italian aria, as she goes into Spaghetti, nasty. She's nasty. She's nasty for that. Why is she like this? She's so nasty for that. And Spaghetti, which is such an interesting track. So Spaghetti is really interesting, y'all, because it is pretty much based off spaghetti westerns, which in the little bit of research that I did got their name because they're usually made by Italian directors and they're usually more cynical and violent in nature. It feels like a kind of go against the grain kind of vibe. Like, they compare it to like your standard Hollywood westerns, which are more traditional, I guess, and spaghetti westerns are very much not that. So it's interesting. I think they're supposed to be like usually more low budget, because why would the industry want to feed into creating something like this if it goes against the grain, against the ideologies that typical Hollywood westerns go on? And it's it's so well done, because like going against the grain, which is basically the whole album. Like, Cowboy Carter is going against the grain because so many people have such a big issue with this woman doing country music or anything even closely related to country music. It's such a problem. And she's going against the grain by just doing the album. But this song also is placed in a part of the album where it's so disruptive. Like, it's not disruptive, but it's so jarring. Like, it's a clear contrast between the songs that have already played on the album and this song. Like as soon as I think is it Swiss Beats that does that Beyonce Virgo shit, and you hear the oh my God. I was like sitting there and I'm like, something's about to happen. Like I'm like, something is about to happen, and I know she's not going to sit here and rap on this album. I know she ain't about to rap on this album. And you know what she did? She came in super aggressive and rapped on the album. She rapped on the album. We will pick it up, y'all, with spaghetti when we come back for the next Plan With Me, because she just is so frustrating. I just effing cannot. Okay. All right. Thank you for listening to me go on and on about Beyonce and Cowboy Carter. I'll be doing this again in my next Plan With Me. I appreciate you now and then. I hope you guys enjoyed the Plan With Me. Here's what I have left. Love, love, love how this spread turned out. And I love, love, love Cowboy Carter. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, as it really does help support the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see y'all real soon. Bye.